Aware, it's your boy Slasbury MMA, and today we're gonna go over some of the I think best prospects who will be coming out of this season of Dana White Contender Series, which will be starting tomorrow for me. So yeah, let's go. And also comment down below some of the prospects I missed. Finding the upcoming prospects within MMA is probably one of my favorite aspects of the sport. Like watching fighters who people don't really know yet, watching their fights, seeing their star potential and their fight ability, and basically telling people that they're gonna reach the UFC and become future champions. I think the future of MMA is bright, so I'm very interested in the upcoming generation. But first off, let's start with Luke Riley. Unfortunately, I think his fight is cancelled now because of visa issues and certain topology, but this is probably the best prospect on this list. If his fight career goes well in the UFC, with his ability and his personality, I think he can become the biggest star. So let's go over him. Luke Riley is a technical scrapper. He has beautiful combinations, very fast hands, very good cardio. He trains with Paddy Pimblett and has aura. You might call me gay, but Luke Riley does have aura. Luke Riley is a 9-0 fighter from Cage Warriors. He trains with Paddy Pimblett at Next Generation May. And yeah, just he also had one of the UFC Fight Pass fights of the year against some Swedish bloke. I forgot his name, but yeah, he had some adversity in that fight and literally just drowned him with pressure. Fighting Luke Riley is like drowning basically because Luke Riley likes to pressure you against the cage, throw with his very fast hands, throw lots of volume and combinations, and he's not just a volume puncher with no speed and no power. He has speed and power, adding in volume punching with very crisp combinations and insane aggression. So yeah. Also, Luke Riley said he's coming for. He believes he can beat Ilia Topuria, and yeah, it's just confidence on him. I do truly believe he believes that he can beat Ilia Topuria. So on his star rating, I rate him 8 out of 10. He has personality, and also yeah, he has aura, and his fight ability is 8 out of 10. He's really good. His grappling might be a bit of a problem, but he's training with Paddy Pimblett, so he probably is getting very good defending takedowns if you train and grappling if you train with Paddy Pimblett. And yeah, unfortunately, his fight got cancelled because of visa issues, but Dana White needs to sign this man. Imagine playing him on UK cards because he always will. There won't ever be a boring Luke Riley fight. Next is Aaron Tal. He doesn't look like he's looking for a job anytime soon. So I think he is confident that he will become a UFC fighter because if you get a tattoo like that on your face, I don't think you're looking for a job. He's a scary Maori who's crazy strong and trains at CKB. Um, yeah, I haven't really watched much of his fights, but he's powerful, he's strong, he's good grappling, and yeah, but I'm not too sure how good he is as a fighter. He trains at CKB with Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, etc. Undefeated. And yeah, he was also supposed to fight on the AOS Contender Series, but I think his fight got cancelled. So I do not know what's happening with him. But yeah, as soon as I saw his face, I was like, I want to learn more about this guy. And I'm sure, I'm sure if he joins the UFC, people are just gonna want to know him. Just look at his face. Not calling him ugly, but that's a pretty crazy tattoo. Not even 6'9" wouldn't even get a face tattoo like that. So he has some balls on him. And yeah, it seems like he does have personality. He's like very deep into the Maori culture and stuff, so definitely can bring in some New Zealand fans in the UFC. And yeah, next, Loana Kavanagh. He's a flyweight, and he's really good. He has very fast hands. He's a flyweight who can actually KO people. I'll show you this clip. He's a very good counter fighter, as you can see from the clip, and he can make reads on his opponents and counter them. And he could give life to the flyweight division, as flyweight is kind of dead. It's kind of dead. We need a entertaining striker in the flyweight division, and also needs a new trim. I'm a fan of you, but it looks like you have a paintbrush on top of your head. You need to sort out that trim. He's fighting in week 1. I think he's opening the card. So he's going to be the first fight in Daniel Contender Series, and I do expect him to get a nice KO and come off a bang. He's a very good fighter, but his fight skills might be a bit better than his personality. But I do think he does have personality, which combined with his fight skills, and if he does well in the UFC, he could become a star. But I haven't really watched much interviews of, obviously, his name, Kevin Law. But yeah, a very good fighter. He's very fast. And yeah, just watch some of his fights. Next, Tommy McMillan. To be honest, it's really hard to find fights with this guy, so I didn't really know how good his ability is. He's apparently well known in the US regional scene. He's a featherweight, 6-0. He trains with Sean O'Malley and is coached by the GOAT, Canelo himself. And he's like a young and upcoming fighter who understands that you need to have a good personality and you need to be active on social media to rise in the ranks as well, not just your fight ability. So if you get in the UFC and you win some fights, he can add some this I don't know swag, I guess, into the featherweight division. I'll try to think of a word. And yeah, but I haven't watched much of his fights. From what I have seen from him, he's very aggressive. On the feet. He just goes for it on the feet, which is like something you definitely need. Even if you aren't technically the greatest, fastest, most powerful, if you're aggressive, that'll take you a very long way, especially if you're on down scorecards. He also has a really good vlog series on YouTube, which he's producing, and you gotta respect him for making content while still not being in the UFC yet and being a regional fighter. I put his star ability slightly above his fighting ability, but no offense, Tommy. It's really hard to find fights on you. It's like I basically have to go in the dark web, which I don't want to do. Next, and finally not least, Austin Bashy. He's 22 years old, 12-0, and he is fighting Tommy McMillan. So I think these two, Tommy McMillan and Austin Bashy, are like some of the top US prospects, and they find each other on Day One Contender Series. He reminds you of Ben Askren, like a young Ben Askren, the hairstyle, the wrestling, but it's probably going to be a better striker and more explosive. And I saw in Tapology they say he's 5'3", but I definitely do not believe that. He's probably 5'6". And yeah, I'm just worried. He is kind of a small featherweight, so even though he might be better than Tommy McMillan in skill, Tommy McMillan is probably so much bigger and so much longer and rangier that he'll have problems on the feet with Tommy McMillan. So yeah, I don't know, he's 12-0. He's a good wrestler. I'll probably watch one or two fights of him, and I don't think he's gonna be the most brashiest shit talker guy in the UFC. So I don't rate him high on his star potential, but yeah, you just gotta get those wins and climb up the rankings to make that money. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments. Um, Let me know in the comments other fighters and prospects like to see me cover, because there's so many. I'm not gonna like individually watch all the tape. So yeah, cheers. Star Spread in May.